Yeah, this is pretty trippy, but this is even trippier. Well, ho 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 there, YouTube. I know it's not technically Christmas time yet, but it is July, and you probably heard of Christmas in July, right? I mean, you get pretty little wreaths with little doves and little pine cones, and presents and food and eggnog and vodka, which is always my favorite. Well, I have something really awesome to show you today. This is called a laser Christmas projector. It blankets a 50-foot by 50-foot area in seconds with thousands of pinpoints, dots of color, like this. And boom, see what I mean? Turn on that one light and you got crazy coverage, thousands of colors, red, green, blue, all over. We're talking like a 10-second setup and takedown time. That's more my style. Again, this is called a laser Christmas light, and it's coming up next here on Gadget Jeff TV.
Gadget Jeff TV.
And yes, welcome back to another Gadget Jeff TV episode where I, Jeff, bring you a cool new toy or gadget every week. And I know I've been a little dormant the past couple weeks. I went out and took a little trip to Eastern Washington. We have a really short summer here in Seattle, so you have to really cram it all in. I was jet skiing around, actually jet packing around. I'll be reviewing that in an upcoming episode. But I actually got like a little tan going on. Most of the year I'm kind of like Twilight status, and so it's nice to have a little color, you know, you look a little healthier. And my channel here is officially over 5,000 followers, which I wanted to say thank you so much for. It's been an awesome ride. It's been going on for about 8 months now, slowly building, and I got more and more ideas all the time, so I appreciate everyone's support this far. And to celebrate, I'll be giving away a little item at the very end of this video, so please stay tuned on how you could win that. Now, I first saw one of these driving around a couple Christmases ago. I was driving around looking at Christmas lights at Christmas time with the girlfriend I had at the time, and we came upon this house that just caught our eye. It wasn't the traditional house that was just covered with traditional lighting. This one was like, what is that? I actually thought it was some magical blacklight spray paint or something. I got out of the car and actually walked up to the house and was touching the house thinking it was like some type of glowing paint. Luckily, the owner was actually outside on the sidewalk talking to a couple other onlookers. When they were done talking to him, I walked up to him. I was like, hey buddy, what's that? I've never seen such a cool thing. He said it was a laser Christmas light. As you guys know, I love cool stuff, so I was all over this. Actually went online on my phone on the drive home from looking at Christmas lights and was just researching and researching. A quick search for laser Christmas lights and boom, the first hit, laserchristmaslights.com. Luckily, it was only the first week in December, so I still had time to place an order and enjoy it for that year, and so I ordered one. Now, at the time, I ended up going with their green and blue model, the dual that they have. I don't know why I chose that, maybe because I'm in Seattle and I like the Seahawks, blue and green. Go Seahawks. Now, the company actually has about 6 or 7 different models. They have single laser, dual laser, and triple laser models. They have single red, single green, single blue, and then they also have dual mixed combinations where there's 2 lasers per unit. You got red and green, you got green and blue, and then you got red and blue. And then of course you got Big Bertha here, which I always like to say, this has all 3 colors, red, green, and blue in one unit. Actually, it's quite simple how it works. You got a couple lasers in there that are single beam lasers, which I guess most lasers are, and then they're ran through this diffraction grating glass and split into thousands and thousands of dots of color. Then you simply point in the direction you would like the laser, and then any surface is covered with color. A really nice feature about these are the wireless handheld remote controls. These have a variety of functions. You have a power on and off button. You can select between what colors you want. If you want certain colors on or certain colors off, any combination of color, it'll do it. It has a flash little button if you want them to flash happy. It has a speed up and down. You can slow the lasers down or speed them up if you bought the moving model. And then there's also a really convenient interval timer at the bottom here. So once it's set up for the season, you can select how long you want the lasers on. If you want them on for 4 hours a night and off for 20 hours, or you want them on for 6 hours and off for 18, so you don't have to go out there and plug them in every night. So you got red and green, you got blue and green, you got a little red and a little blue, or you can go with just a single color like green here. Now, as you can probably tell, green is pretty vibrant over red and blue. It's just a lot more brighter, a lot more wow effect. But it's actually because the human eye sees green better than it does red or blue. Red and blue lasers will always appear dimmer than the color green. Green is just like in your face. But then again, blue is also a very nice color to have on by itself. It provides more of a dreamy, go to sleep type ambiance. Or if you really want to freak out your onlookers, like I said, turn on the motor option and it looks like you got 1,000 friggin' fire ants on your house or something. Or if you just want complete chaos, turn on the strobe mode and you got color galore all over the place. You're probably going to cause a car accident if you do this on your house, just letting you know. Now, these laser projectors can get a little spendy, but you get what you pay for. They last about 8,000 hours of... Why is my shit limp here? Everything's limp in my girlet's family. No, but in all seriousness, these things do run about $225 for their top-of-the-line moving RGB laser. That's the red, green, and blue model. But they last for 8,000 hours, which is like 2 years if you left them on every day for 8 hours a day. And who's going to use them every day for 8 hours a day? You're probably just going to use them in November and December for 8 hours a day. So they're probably going to last you a couple decades. Now, like I said, when I first stumbled upon this, I bought the green and blue model. This is their duals. These run about $165 for 2 colors. That includes shipping. As you can tell, it's a lot smaller than Big Bertha, the moving RGB. The Big Bertha here weighs about 4 pounds. Their dual model here weighs about 2 pounds. But that's because it's got a motor in it and it's got to do a lot more functions. So now I don't have a single laser model to show you, but I heard they use the same housing. They weigh 2 pounds and those run $125 shipped. And then all of them do come with the remote controllers, but of course, if you buy the single green laser model, you're not going to be able to select blue or red because it's a single laser. Now, these do have a waterproof rating of IP65, which means they can't be submerged completely underwater. You can't put them in your pool, but for normal rain and snow and outdoor elements, they'll withstand that, which you pretty much need to do in wintertime where there's snow and rain and weather's not usually that good in wintertime. Like I mentioned before, the ease of setup is great. You pretty much attach the yardstick, run the cable to this little transformer here, plug it into the wall, and you're done. Now, the company LaserChristmasLights.com states they have an intelligent internal electronic thermostat, which is supposed to regulate the temperatures of the laser diodes themselves, keeping them right at 77 degrees, which is supposed to be the perfect temperature for lasers where they don't have premature diode failure, which would be no good on a $200 investment. And because they have these intelligent electronic thermostats, they can operate in temperatures as cold as -4 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So whether you're in Mexico having a hot Christmas or in Michigan having a cold one, you're good to go. What is that you say? Safety? Safety concerns? Lasers in people's eyes Isn't that a no-no? Well, good thing you asked, because that was actually a concern of mine as well. On the instructions, they state they are Class 3A laser diodes, which are pretty high power, but because they're ran through diffraction grating glass and split into thousands of dots of color, each dot is therefore supposed to be diminished down to less than 1 milliwatt in power. And any laser less than 5 milliwatts in power is classified as a class 1 laser product, which is okay for the human eye. Now, I wouldn't be falling asleep staring into this thing every night, but setting it out in your yard and walking out, it's gonna hit you in the face. There's nothing to worry about. But as you know me, I had to put it to the test. I have a laser power meter, which I used in my other high power laser videos, and I wanted to make sure these are indeed less than 1 milliwatt. So let's take a look. Okay, I have my laser power meter set up. This little device will read the output power of a laser. It's set to 0. I shine the laser into this little device called a thermopile, and it reads the output of the laser. Okay, so I'm gonna lift up the laser, and it's pretty close to the thermopile. And as you can see, it doesn't even register. Now, that is actually quite impressive to take a class 3A laser and diminish its output power down to less than 1 milliwatt. That actually would have to be probably thousands of individual beams to do that. So to put it to the test, for some fun, I added some fog to see what kind of effect I could get on this laser Christmas light. Now, isn't this just the coolest thing you've ever seen? Looks like we're going into time warp hyperspace on some crazy theme park ride or something. Literally, the fog machine highlighted each individual laser as it projected through the unit. Now, like I said, these lasers can blanket up to a 50-foot by 50-foot surface area. That's 2,500 square feet. That depends on other ambient light sources like street lights and things like that. It's not the best representation of how much coverage you can actually get with one of these. Behind me, this is only like 10 feet maybe. So I was gonna go downstairs. I do live in an apartment, but it's a vaulted ceiling apartment, and I can kind of show you how much more coverage you get. Alright, YouTube, first time downstairs in my apartment, welcome. I'm going to turn off the light here just so you get a better idea of the amount of coverage. It's truly breathtaking. My iPhone might be able to capture some of the color better than my webcam does upstairs, but my ceilings are about 20 feet high. You get crazy coverage with these things. They're just beautiful. So basically, if you want to be the hit of your neighborhood, I highly recommend going to the website, laserchristmaslights.com. Now, as you can probably guess, these things are very popular come November, December. The company actually does sell out every year, or so they say, but last year they were sold out of a couple models that I wanted to order, so I guess they were telling the truth. But yeah, if you really want one, don't wait to the last minute like everybody else does. Order it like now or next month or something, and then you don't have to be in a panic that you're not going to get it on time. Now, like I said at the beginning, I did just pass 5,000 subscribers. I'm almost up to 6,000 now. It's accelerating quicker, which is really exciting for me. And to celebrate, I'm actually going to be giving one of these away. This is the green and blue model. It is unused. I purchased this for my mother, but she lives in a really small place, and there was no way for her to set it outside to project on her place. So it is actually brand new. I still have the box, still have the remote controller, the instructions, everything's good to go. Now, it's kind of tricky to select a winner, like what do you do when you got this many followers? So I thought of maybe sharing this video and then leaving a comment that makes me laugh. You know me, I'm pretty goofy, and yeah, leave me some weird comment on why you think you should win the laser, and I'll choose the best one. Whatever one gets me chuckling the most, they'll be the winner. So today is Wednesday. I'll be reading all the comments through Friday and choosing a winner Saturday morning. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the laser Christmas light. I highly recommend these if you're not a big fan of taking all your Christmas stuff out at Christmas time and untangling the cords and getting on a ladder and risking death or stapling your hand with a stapler. Just get one of these and call it good. You're going to be the hit of the neighborhood. I guarantee it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I still respond to all comments, believe it or not. And if you haven't subscribed, would love to have you. Come on, we got plenty of room. I'll be back in about a week with this guy. It looks like a phone, but it isn't, and you'll see why. I will see you guys on the flip side. Later.